Hi everyone. Sorry. Hi everyone. Very good morning and good evening. We'll start the session, guys. Let me share my screen. Just a minute. Okay. So let me log in into our account. Okay. In last what we have discussed. So first we discussed about the data loading activity. The next we discussed about user stage. Next we discussed about table stage. Today we are going to discuss about named stage. User stage, table stages will have user level restriction and table level restrictions, right? But when it is coming to the named stage will not have any restrictions. Here any user can able to use the named stage, and any table can able to utilize the named stage. Whatever the files it is available in this particular stage area, any user can able to use, any table can able to use it. Now, so here named stage cannot be created by default. We have to create it. In the last session, so we have created named stage, right? Once you created like a table, like once you created a table, it will be permanently available in the database, right? The same way, named stage is also object, is a object in our Snowflake. See this one, the previous session we created named stage. Once we created named stage, you can able to still see the stage here. See this one, named stage is available. And one more thing, named stage, we can use it as internal stage as well as external stage. There are the two different things. One is internal, another one is external stages. Now today what we are going to do is we will discuss about internal named stage. In the next like coming sessions, we are going to see about external named stage. Now what we have done previously, we created a stage. Once the stage is created, we can able to see the stage area. Then if you wanted to see the file properties of the stage, when you describe the stage, you can able to see all the different file properties it is available in the stage area. Now most of the time when we are working in a project, we are going to use this named stage only. So very less situations we will use user stage and table stages. Any restrictions, then only we will go with user stage and table stages. Now what we are going to do is we will utilize this name stage, and then we will try to load the data to the table. Along with that, we will see other options also what we can able to perform. Now if you wanted to work with named stage, so first what we need to do, we created a stage area, right? We have created already stage area created, named stage area created. When you want to load the data by using named stage, we should have a table structure. Now let me create a table structure. We are creating a table structure emp named stage. This is the table name which we are using. Now we wanted to keep the file into the stage area. Normally previously what we have done, we we kept the stage, I mean file, in the table stage or user stages. Now what we are going to do, whatever the file we are going to process, that file has to be picked by any of the table and any of the user. So we need to keep that file in the named stage area. So named stage represented with @stage name. This is the stage name, @stage name. Now when you want to keep the file, what you are going to do, we are going to give the put command, right? Now for example, we are going to modify the put command. Here we will modify @stage name. So what is the stage name here which you created? This is the stage name. This particular thing, put command, is going to execute. So from this particular path, it will pick the file and then it will load the data to this particular stage area, right? So in this case, now where we can able to run the put command, we need to connect it to command prompt. Let's connect it to command prompt, snow CLI. snow SQL space minus a space our account details. When it is coming to the account details, let's pick the account details from here. This is the account details which you are going to use. Sorry. This is the account details. Now it will ask the username and then it will ask the password. Given the password correctly, now need to connect it to the database. So connecting to the database, we will use database and then database name. Now what we have to do, we have to execute this put command. So when we are executing this put command, let's observe this one. Now come here, execute this put command. Now the file has been loaded to this particular stage area. Now we can use this particular file, what is available in this stage. We can use it for this particular table. We can use it for another table also. Let's observe. What we will do is we will execute copy command here. Let's say I will pick and then I will modify the copy command according to this particular table. This is the table, right? Copy into table. What is the stage name? Stage name is, this is the stage name. Now coming to this, this is the stage area. And then this is the file type. And then this is our file format. Now what we are doing, copy into table from stage area. And then we are using file format and then skip header equal to 1. Now let's execute this. When you execute this, what will happen? The file has been loaded. This is the stage area. Which stage we have used? Named stage, it has loaded. Now there is no restriction, right? Any user can able to use the files from this particular stage area, and at the same time any table can able to use these files from this particular stage area because this is a named stage. Now what we will do is, let's create a new table here. For example, underscore test. This is a new table. Now we are creating a new table. New table is created for us. Observe this. New table created. Now previously we loaded the data to this particular table. Now what we are trying to do? We are trying to load it into another table. Now observe the copy command. What we are going to do, changes. This is the table name. See this? Table name has been changed. Still the file is available in the stage area, right? The same file it is available in the stage area. If I try to execute this, if you are using a table stage area, then it will throw error. But here, which stage we are using now? See this, above table, below table, both we are using same stage area which we have created named stage. See this, if I try to execute this, it won't give any error. It will allow you to load the data to the table because named stage, there is no restrictions. You can use this particular stage to any of the table, any of the user. That is the main thing. So when we are working with a named stage, and at the same time, let's see some other options here. So if you wanted to load, like for example, I want to pick all the files, then what we can do in the copy command, sorry, in the put command, we are going to give like this. And let's execute this put command again here. What will happen? The file which it is loaded, it will be skipped. Remaining files will be processed. See this one? File employee 3 file previously we have loaded. This we have loaded previously into the stage area. That's the reason the older file which it is already available, that file has been skipped. Which file is loaded? Employee 1 file is loaded, employee 2 file is loaded. Both the files it has been loaded here. Now when the both the files is loaded, Now, how many files we have here? If you see list at the rate stage name, this is the named stage. 3 files we have totally. Now, when we execute this copy command, what will happen here? The file 3 is loaded now. See this file 3 is loaded. If I execute the same copy command one more time, file 3 will be skipped. File 1 and file 2 has been loaded. See this one. Now again, if I execute one more time, what will happen now? It will not load any file because all the files which it is available in this particular stage area, all the 3 files has been loaded successfully to the table. Now if you observe this particular table, see this one, what we can able to see, we can able to see the complete, all the files has been loaded here. All the files has been loaded. One thing here, when multiple files loaded into the table, this is one of the the recent interviews, they're asking this question. If we have loaded multiple files into the single table, then how to identify which file is loaded, which rows? It means which row came from which particular file. For example, if I type India here, see this, how many rows I can able to see? I can see 3 different rows, right? Now I wanted to know which row is from which file. These different rows has been loaded from 3 different files. Now I wanted to know what is the file name associated to this particular row, what is the row number of that particular, in that particular file, what is the row number I wanted to understand. Then we have a option. It means what we are trying to do is, see this, let me open one file. This is a file here, right? What is the file name here? Employee1 CSV is the file. This is the file name. We want this file name entry in the table. Another thing is, in this file, which row it belongs to. See this one, which row it belongs to? 4th row, right? So this is the data, right? This particular row belongs to 4th one. I wanted to know file name, which row in our table once the data loaded to our Snowflake. So if we are loading multiple files, we wanted to know these things. Yes, we can able this to implement these things, right? The Snowflake has given the metadata, the options. So when we are picking the data, we can use those, like we have used select $1, $2, right, in the previous sessions. The same way we can use metadata file name and metadata row. With the help of this, we can able to understand which particular file row came from. Now, what we are going to do is, let me create a table structure here. Example. Okay. Observe this. We are going to create a table structure. So when we are creating a table structure, we are creating the table structure with, see this one, two additional columns I am creating. One is file name, another one is file row number. Now let's create a table. Now we created a table. Now the table, it contains, how many columns it contains? This particular table, how many columns we have? 7 columns totally. Now the file which you wanted to load, which file we wanted to load from which particular stage? From this particular stage I can load. Once the file is loaded into the named stage, no need to do it again and again. You can use this for n number of tables, right? So what we are going to do is, observe this one, copy into table. What is the table name? Here this is a metadata table name. Now I am going to use this particular table. And then what is the stage name? This is the stage name. If I directly use this, what will happen now? How many columns in a file in the stage? That is 5 columns. How many columns in a table now? 7 columns, right? Will it allow us to load? No, right? If there is a mismatch in between the table structure and then file structure, Snowflake will throw error. See this. You can able to see that what it is showing. Number of columns in a file 5. It is not matching with the corresponding table 7, right? In this case, previously what we have done, error on count mismatch equal to false, true we have given, right? So so when we are using this, so error on count, so mismatch, so previously if you observe, somewhere we have used, right? See this one, false. Error on count mismatch, by default it will be true. If you give false, what will happen? It will ignore the error, it will load. But what is our requirement? We need the file name, we need the file row number. These are the metadata columns from the stage area. So that if you wanted to get that, what you are going to do is, see this, select, we have to use metadata file name and then metadata row number. See this one, metadata file name and then metadata file row number. Like this we have to use it. So here we are going to use metadata file name, metadata file row number, and then what all the other columns we required. $1 means first column, $2 second column, $3, $4, $5. From where? From stage area. Now observe this one. What we have done here, we have modified this copy command along with metadata columns from the stage area, metadata file name and then metadata file row number along with $1, $2, $3. So what will happen? We are telling that, so when it is loading the data to the table, the first column, pick the data from this. For the second column, pick the data from this. For the third column, the $1, pick the data from $1, load the data to this employee ID. $2, load the data to employee name. Like that we have specified the order. Now when you execute this, observe what will happen. Now all the 3 files has been loaded to the table. Now let's check the data here. What is the table name? This is the table name, right? When you see the data in the table, observe what we can see. See this one, file name, file row number, both is available here. Now let's say I'm searching with again with India. Now observe this one. This row came from file 1, row number 4. This one came from file 3, row number 4, right? So like that, so for each and every data we can understand clearly. See this, what is a file? It belongs to what is the row number, that particular, the from that particular file, from where it came from. We can understand this information when you use this metadata information, especially when we are loading multiple files, we will use this. If you want to identify the which file and then which, the from the which file and then what is the row in that particular file. Now till now today, so what we have done till today, we are loading the data into the table, right? When we are loading the data to the table, file to stage, from stage to the table, we are using this. In this process, we are using put command to upload the data to the table, right? When we are using put command, we are going to use when we are uploading the data to the table, we are using it. Let's say suppose now our requirement is, I have a data in my Snowflake table. From the Snowflake table already the data which it is available, I wanted to bring this to my local system. It means the table data is available. I wanted to bring this table data into the file. Here also, without stage, you cannot able to do it. This particular process we will call it as by using get command. This is unloading the data. We are going to use get command to unload the data, or we can call it as a download the data. For example, see this, we have a data. Let me show you. Select star from EMP. When you execute this, I can see the data is available in the table. Now, if you observe here, see this option, download result option, right? When you use download option, see on this particular download option, you will get one certification question. When you use this download command, download icon or download option, you can able to download this in two formats only. What all the output formats Snowflake will support when it is downloading? One is CSV, another one is tab separated format. CSV format, tab separated format only it will support. Other formats, when you are downloading, it will not support any other formats. That too, when it is downloading, it is going to download in the form of zip file format only. Okay, for example, observe this one here. When you use download, you can see download as CSV. Download as CSV for Excel, it means it will create a CSV Excel file. This is normal CSV file, it will be created. This is TSV. TSV means nothing but tab separated values. For example, if I click here, when I download, observe this particular one, how you can able to see this. In between column to column, tab is a separator. In between the column to column, tab is a separator. This we will call it as a tab separated value, tab separated file. So here when you are using, one is tab separated, another one is CSV, another one is CSV for Excel. For example, if I click on this, it will be downloaded in the Excel with the CSV extension. If I click on this, it's clicked. See this one? It you can able to see CSV with separated values dot CSV file. See this one? Dot CSV with comma separated values, right? So this one will be like a download as dot CSV, CSV for Excel. So these are the different options. These both are like almost, see this one, similar. So only the extension will be different. Now you can able to see this, right? It has been downloaded. Now when you are downloading, like when you are uploading by using user interface, there is a limitation, right? The same way when you are downloading also, if you are downloading huge volume of the data, if you are trying to download more than 200 MB file, it will not allow you to download by using this option. That is not possible. Then how we can able to download? To download that, we have a get command implementation. Put command we are going to use upload, right? If it's a single, I mean simple file, if it's a less volume of the data, we can use directly here. But when it is coming to the file which it is having the huge volume of the data, then this download option will not support. You have to use get command. To implement that, what you have to do is, first we need to bring the data, whatever the data it is available, this data we have to keep it in the stage area. Now this is a table, means this table will have stage, right? List at the rate percentage emp, this is related to table stage. Now observe this one, the stage, this particular employee stage, does it contains any file? No, right? Whatever the data is available, it's a reverse process. Now what we are doing, the data from the table we are loading into the stage first. From the stage we will download to our local system as a file. So here We'll remove this existing one. See this. So when we are implementing this, what you have to do is, this is the simple same copy command we are going to apply. Copy into table. What is the table name? So sorry, copy into stage. What is the stage we are going to use? This is the stage. Copy into stage. From which table? This is the table. See this one? This is the table. Same thing. It's a reverse process. Previously what we have done, sorry, previously what we have done, file to stage, stage to the table by using a put command. Now table, so first table to, when once the data is available in the stage, we implemented copy command, right? Now see this here, what we are doing, table data is available. The table data, first we are bringing into the stage. To do that, we have to use a copy command. Copy into stage from table. See this one, just we will use the same command. Now see this one, what you can see, rows unloaded. Rows unloaded. Now previously, when you check this list at the rate stage name, at the rate percentage stage name, did you see any files? No, right? Now observe this one. See this, it has been downloaded. csv.gz zip file format, it has been downloaded. Now you can see the date parameter also, right? The date parameter also you can able to see that. Now let's come here. Now the file is available now. File is available. Now what I have to do? I have to bring this file into my local system. For that, what I need to do is get command. To upload the files, we are going to use a put command. To download the files, we are going to use get command. To implement the get command, observe this, the syntax. Get, we are going to use, we will modify this. Get from where? From this particular stage, where the file is available now. In this particular stage, the file is available. Where you need to keep this particular file, from this stage to where you wanted to keep. I wanted to keep the file into this particular location. In this particular location, now if you observe, we don't have any other files. Now copy this, come here, and I'm going to modify the path here. See this, I have modified the path. Now when I use a get command, what will happen here? See this, see this one, what we discussed previously. Put and get both will not work in user interface, right? Now to execute the get command, what I need to do? Let's copy the get command, come to the user interface, execute it here. It is going to pick the file from this particular stage. It is going to upload into this particular path. That file, it will keep it into this particular path. Now just execute this. Sorry, observe this one. See this, what it is telling, downloaded. It's downloaded. Now check the path. See this now, what happened? Downloaded. You can able to see the time stamp. It has been downloaded, right? So this is the option. So how we can use, so get command to download the file from our Snowflake. But so here when we are implementing, most of the time we are going to upload only. So just for the interview purpose and certification purpose, so we discussed about like how we can able to download it. If you wanted to download, we have a user interface option also. When you use that user interface options, what will happen? If it is a huge file, this download option will not work. So if your file is huge, then what you can do, we can use a get command. So first we need to copy the data from the table to stage area. Then once the stage contains the file, unloaded file, then we can use get command to implement. To implement the get command, what we have to do? Again, we have to go with CLI. Here, when you are working with a name stage, we have all the file properties, different file properties is available, right? If you describe stage and then stage name, this is the stage name, right? You can able to see all the different file properties. In the coming session, we are going to see the different properties what we are going to use most of the time in the validation part. Now here what we have done, just we have concentrated on uploading the data and by using a different stages. Let's say if your file is having errors, how to load only the valid data, avoiding error things, how to load only the valid files. If you have multiple files in a folder or path, I mean the stage area, for example, I have 10 files. In that files, two are invalid files. I wanted to avoid those files. Remaining everything has to be loaded. And if the file is having any length issue, for example, here length is 4, right? If the column is having only 3, length as a 3, then it will throw error. Then how to avoid those things? And at the same time, so how to implement the different validation method. So now when you are executing copy command, then only we can understand. If you have any failures, then only we can understand during the execution of the copy command, right? I don't want to execute a copy command. I mean, I don't wanted to load the data into the table. Before that itself, I wanted to understand what are the errors. Then I have to rectify it. How to do that? Then how we can able to identify once the data is loaded, how many are skipped. For example, when you are loading the data, if I use on error continue option, for example, here you can able to see on error, right? On error by default is a abort statement. If you get any error, by default it will be skipped. But I will use on error continue. If I use on error continue, what will happen is it is going to load the data without failing. It will skip error records. Once it is loaded, then how we will understand what all the things has been skipped, right? So all these things we are going to see it in a validation part, how we can able to do that and how we can able to so work with that, we will see in the validation error part. So these are the different options we will use it now till today. So whatever we have discussed, just loading and then unloading the data. After discussing about the validation part, then we will jump into the advanced topics into the Snowflake, right? Different table types it will be available in Snowflake, like permanent table, transient table, temporary table. Then we will see the, once we discussed, then we can able to see the time travel option. So how we can able to work with the time travel. For example, if you observe, just see this for when you are practicing, right? Just observe this. Just use show tables or show databases or show schemas, whatever it may be. Just observe some of the columns, what it contains. You can see these are the terminologies. Maybe we are going to see that in the coming sessions, like kind, and then you can see cluster by, you can see active bytes. Bytes you can see. Now, bytes means nothing but if the table is occupying storage, you can able to see that bytes. You can see retention period, right? All the different options it is available. Just like go through that just to understand the naming conventions, just to understand so what exactly this is. So when we are discussing about this, we can able to understand. Here if you see retention period, this talk about the time travel. And then you can able to see the kind, the table, right? This talks about the which particular table it is it a permanent table, transient or temporary table. We are going to see that in the coming session, guys. So we will stop it here for today. I have other meeting to jump. We will finish all the questions, then we will wind up for today. Just a minute, I can see some of the questions here. Will it compare only the file name or data also before skipping? It will compare the metadata information it contains. It will compare the column, it will compare the file. So both the things it will compare along with the backend what it contains. So it contains the metadata information, nothing but it will compare the data also, we can consider it. Then only it will skip. If the file is having with a different name, for example, uh, here we kept different files with the different names, but data almost it is similar. So this employee 1, employee 2, employee 3 files with different file names, right? So it will allow you to load. So it will compare the file names, and then along with data also it will come, but file name is different, the data is same also, it will allow you to load. If it identifies based upon name, if you change the file name it will load the data. Yes, definitely it will load the data if you change the file name. Yes, it will be skipped because always it will consider about the metadata only. So when we are sending a files on everyday basis, the as per the like practices, right? What we are going to do is we won't send the same file name with the same extension. Every time the file extension will be with added with a timestamp, so that we won't when we are working with projects, we won't get the same files again and again. It will have some extensions, so that so we no need to worry about it. That's the reason it will check the file names.
Sir, I have a
And
question. This
file
is
name, yeah, yeah,
uh,
Ankit. Mm.
yeah, I have another. So why do we use name stage instead of user stage and table stage, right? Because name stage is available for everyone, right?
Name stage is
User stage
available
is.
for everyone because there is no restrictions. And at the
Mhm.
same time, when you are working with the cloud platform, right? Like you need to pull the data from AWS, you need to pull the data from Azure storage, you want to pull the data from GCP. In that case, use the stage table stages will not work. Only you have to use named stage only.
Okay, but then for
Mm,
the file loading, we
mm.
can still use user stage and table stage, right?
We can use it if it is a respective tables and then respective users, then still you can use the user stage and table stages.
So when somebody loads a
Mm,
data,
mm,
so it will be visible in name stage, right? If another user is loading the data, it will be at least available in the name stage. But then,
mm.
um, we is there a way we can restrict the usage of user stage and the table stage? Because if you are suppose loading the data using user stage, I won't be able to know that a user, I mean, what file got loaded and who loaded it, right?
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, see, when it is coming to the files only, we can able to restrict by using user stage and table stages. So your question is, so if I am not wrong, let me know. Yeah, so see, your question is what I understand is if the data is loaded into the table, right? Then
Yeah.
every person can able to see that, every user can able to see. You wanted to restrict the table data access, right?
No,
Is your question is
no.
correct?
My question is like if suppose we both are working in the same project and we loaded a
Okay,
data into a table. Now you
okay,
used the user stage instead of the named stage,
okay. Mm-hmm.
but then I won't be able to see who
No, no,
loaded the
no.
data, right?
You can able to see that. See, once the data is loaded into the table, everyone can able to see the data in the table based on the
Yeah, but
access. Okay.
correct. But then who loaded it? I mean, how would I get to know it
You
was
can
you
see.
or someone
I,
else?
I will tell you. So you can able to see that everything. So you can able to see here. You can able to see query history, right? In the query
Okay.
history, you will have the complete logs. Okay. Here I am working with only one user, but here you can able to see this one query which it is executed, which user is loaded. See this one, which warehouse he has
Okay.
used. You can able to see the complete information here. The same way you can see copy history. See this one, when you are using the copy command, so which user has executed those copy commands. See this status you can able to see, and then which
Mhm.
user it is, which database, which schema. So which user, so we can able to if you see the query we can clearly understand so who has utilized, right? So by
Okay.
seeing those things, we can understand. Yeah.
Does this say whether it the name stage was used or a user stage was used?
Yes,
This query.
yes, you can able
Okay.
to see that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Mm. Yeah, these metadata options, right? Only the like a file name and then file row number only we have. Other than that, we have the columns. Other than we don't have any other thing in the metadata columns in the stage. Is it possible to remove the file from? Yes, we can able to do that, Prasad. That we are going to see that by using in the coming session. I will show you. Or just we can use the RM option. RM. Then if I give the stage name, then the files will be removed from the stage. For example, I will use. Let me give this one. Copy. Say this is the command. Now this is manual process, but we won't do the manual process. See this, all the files has been removed, but we won't do the manual process. When you are during the copy command execution only, we are going to use purge command option. That is the best practice. If you want to remove individually, yes, we can use by using RM. If you wanted to do it during the execution process itself, that is the best practice. I will tell you what is the reason behind that. We are going to use purge within the copy command. With the help of that, we can remove the file. From which file the data is loaded into the table. So normally, right, when we are loading the data into the table, we can see the which user has executed and then what is the command it has been executed. So by using the copy command, we can able to see that. See this one. By seeing this, we can understand, right? So which stage it is used, right? We can able to track that information based on the query ID. File formats, we are going to see that in the coming session, Sayed. We will discuss the most utilized the all the like file options. We are going to see that in the coming session. We will see name stage BS3. Any public cloud platforms, Kalyani, not only AWS S3, it can be from Azure blob storage. It can be GCP BigQuery location, GCP buckets also. So it will be picked from AWS, Azure, and GCP. Both all the public cloud platforms, the name stage will support.
One more request, sir. If you can go back to the screen, the UI, there
Mhm.
are so many options available under projects and data. Can you probably take a brief session on
Yeah,
these?
we
Like
will
if you
see
can.
that when we are working with that, right? Everything we are going to see each and everything. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Sorry guys, little early today we are closing. I have to jump into other meeting. Any other questions, guys, before closing the session? Okay. If you don't have any questions, thank you. Thanks all for your time. See you tomorrow, guys. Thank you. Bye.